I think we should jump into the news, shall we? Shall we join everyone in the newsroom? Let's go for a wander, shall we? News time. I think I just bug it up. Oh my god, why am I really short? Why am I down here? That was a bad intro. Bad intro. There we go. Oh my gosh. Hang on. I don't know why I'm so short today. Am I really small or really short? I can't really tell. There we go. There we go. Hey god, everything's moving. Why is this unlocked? Who unlocked this? Chat, who broke the TV? Hang on. Why is everything unlocked? There's also something up here in the corner. What's this in the corner? Wait, hang on. Who's this? Who are you? Oh, hang on. There we go. Oh no, I think I messed up the TV. Hang on. Alright, hang on. Hang on, hold up. Chat, hold up. Hold on. Hey, chat. Settle down. There we go. That might be better. Something's happened to the TV. There we go. Better. Alright. Let's start over. Where are we? Let's just do over. Take two. All right. I mean, I wish I had more people, like a real news crew that could. Everyone's managing different things, but I'm just one cat. Okay, I've got one button. I click the button. I click the big red button, and the newsreel plays. And then sometimes the screen falls over. All right, welcome on in to the news for April 2nd, 2022. So it is the day after April Fool's for me. It is still currently April Fool's in America, so we still will be getting some things maybe trickle in, but generally a lot of the news will be out by now, so unless someone's really trying to get right into the tail end of the April Fool's sort of just adventures, then yeah. I think that we pretty much have got everything we need. So let's jump in. I'm going to cover the April Fool's stuff probably at the start of this, just because I think that it is worth discussing. And then we will probably be jumping into just standard news. So there is a decent amount here. There's actually a decent amount that is not April Fool's, surprisingly, like a lot of just standard news. There was a lot that happened during the week. There was some anime stuff, but yeah. How's my week? My week's been all right. Weird week. I might discuss it after the news, but weird thing. I think I discussed it a little bit on Twitter a bit about the fire alarm stuff. But let's jump on in. April Fool's Day 2022 compilation. So this is the gathering that Gamatsu put together. There is quite a lot of different, I guess, ones that we've had to cover from different regions and stuff like that, and some fun ones. But if you got tricked by any of these, you got to be aware of what day it is. If there's going to be ones that aren't amongst this, there was quite a lot of different April Fool's ones, and it's interesting which ones get chosen in these articles and stuff like that, because some are more interesting than others, I would definitely say. But yeah. So we have Glowstick Entertainment did a Dark Deception Netflix original series. I'm not 100% sure what this is, but it looks like Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh, okay. So this is an actual game series. So I don't know this because it's some horror game, I guess. But I guess they teased that they were going to do a Netflix series. Idea Factory did International Love. I'm not sure. It must be a fake game. Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. They did a promo for a Gravy Hut. I don't know what this is. So these are these little bird fellas. Wait, is this done by Sega America?
It's more than just delicious. It's packed with space proteins.
Wow, this is like a YouTube poop level thing.
Games so bad you'll skip the line. Punch a wrappy in the beak and eat it raw. Wash down the carton with a bucket of milk.
This is like a fan-made thing. This doesn't feel like an official made thing at all.
Formula and fill your veins gyrate uncomfortably. We got Nav Rappy.
Got very 2010s energy.
Emperor Rappy. Love Rappy.
But yes, I guess they must have got their social media to do it. Aether Studios did a Rivals Direct, which actually this one was actually a legit one. So there's two things that were actually revealed during this. So I might actually cover this separately because this is actually the Rivals of Aether Studio. They did a half-an-hour presentation. They did a Rivals Direct, and they revealed two games, which we'll talk about in a bit. Power Wash Simulator improved to Ding 2.0.
Welcome everyone to another real developer update.
See, like I said, there's going to be a lot of indie in here, because there's a lot of
We hear that the Ding is satisfying, but we've ignored that and decided to make it even better.
So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of indie in here. There's gonna be quite a bit of Japanese,
so
but
proud that one entire developer has endorsed this feature internally.
so we won't watch every single one of these, but they did an improved Ding on their game. Battle for the Moon. There's quite a few games I won't know. So Moyo Linked reveals a new snapshot for Java. So they did like a fake little presentation. This actually doesn't seem too terrible. Okay, maybe might be not great. We'll see. So I guess that's it. It's you can only do anything at one block at a time, I guess, was their little joke one. You know, Cooney Cross Worlds did a minigame, I guess, tease. Overkill Software, I don't know this one either. There's a lot here I don't know. It's kind of crazy because as soon as we dive into the single A or the indies, there's going to be a lot we just we're not 100% sure what it is. PUBG did a biggest chicken dinner. Is that like a giant chicken? That would actually be a mode that would be genuinely interesting for them to add for April Fools. Apparently it's a giant chicken mode. You have to fight the giant chicken. I saw Pixie playing Power Wash. It made me feel like cleaning things. Alex, that game I think is just, it's one of those little things where everyone gets, it's satisfying. That's how you would describe games like that. They rub those like satisfying buttons, and I honestly, I said when she rated us, like, I would prefer to watch someone else play it than I think me play it, just because I don't know if I would put aside time for something like that, but yeah, I generally think those games, it's like they do like fit into a very good niche category. So Riot Games Valorant did Wide Joy mode? What does this mean? She's back. What? Wide Joy? So she's just wide. What? What a strange thing for them to do for an April Fool's thing. You could just make her wide. What? That's very strange. That is a very weird one for Valorant. We've got Phantom Break Omnia. I don't know what that one. So we'll have a few Japanese ones. Taito did a fake broadcast. I think I saw this. Shocking footage exposes Bob's broadcast of what he really is. So these are these little animations that Taito have been doing recently. Again, I would really like a good puzzle bubble game to come out, but I don't know if the newest one will fit into that. But these boys are always very cute. Thick with 5 C's. I mean, I feel like that's what people want. Knockout City. Oops, all playlists. Oh, I thought it was gonna be oops, all balls. Unpacking. Then some more added to it. Dokkan Battle did an exercise trailer. Riff Baker did improved voiceovers. I guess they're very cheesy or something like that. Dynasty Warriors cherry viewing bossing conference. So they just did a fake conference that wasn't going to actually happen. I've got a couple of new. There's other Japanese ones, Japanese indies and stuff like that. How far through are we? We're pretty early in it. Like I said, there's quite a lot here. That's why I'm not going to go into every single one. And Japan gets super into their ones. Sword Art Online did a April Fool's event. They stand off against Kirito as an overlord. Sure. HyperX. I saw a couple of these ones. I kind of like these ones a bit more. These sort of silly, just like renderings or something like that, or a silly merch thing. Announcing a new line of touch grass keyboards. Literally a grass keyboard. I'm gonna be honest, it would be really annoying, but it kind of looks aesthetic. I actually really kind of like it. But similar to what we talked about with like the Sonic controllers and stuff like that, be very annoying. That'd be very annoying. We'll talk about this one. Among Us did a horse mode, which not 100% sure what it is. I haven't clicked on the trailer yet, but this is actually a legit one, so we'll watch that in a bit. Yu Hakusho. Platinum Games did a Neoclassic Arcade, showing 9 new titles including Soul Crestia. I don't know if I want to click on that one necessarily, but I love Platinum, but I'm not sure. Why is it just thugs? I don't understand. This seems like a very in-house joke thing, but I might watch that one later. Grass feeling keyboard? Yeah, that'd be weird. Razer did a Razer Hypersense suit enter the metaverse.
Go out and experience the real world, they say, is already a reality. Introducing the Razer Hypersense suit, a breakthrough innovation that changes the field and feel of gaming forever. With over 1,333,300.
It looks like the Crisis suit when they zoom in like that.
Capable of simulating hyper-realistic impact, touch, and sensation. Experience.
Imagine how expensive something like that would be.
Race car pileup that takes getting wrecked to a whole new level. Redefine what hitbox really means as you take.
I mean, this is an easy one to do. I feel like we've had these ones before, but it makes sense to Razer to do it. Just a full VR suit. Lost Ark VR. That's pretty cool. So Smilegate did one as if you're in first person. I thought it was Skyrim for a sec. I thought they were going to Skyrim get us. So, you know, I enjoy me some Lost Ark. I haven't gone back to it, but just the idea that they're doing a first-person mode, which is kind of weird. I'm actually shocked. The game doesn't have a first-person mode at all, does it? I know you can take cameras and stuff like that. Oh, I saw a clipping inside the arm there. Oh, I guess it's very video gaming because it's that too. I can't tell because these are the models from in-game, but it looks different. This is weird. Have they? This is a lot of effort, it feels like. There's Spider Boss. Man, this shows just how good or detailed this game is. That I think this doesn't look bad. Like, this legitimately doesn't look bad as like if it was in first person, because these are the models. Dude, they could do this. This is that thing that sometimes happens with VR, where sometimes not VR, April Fools, where it's like they can sometimes just straight up be like, oh, okay, this is like a legitimate thing. What the hell is this? It's so weird because it's seeing some of this stuff where I haven't seen some of this content. I recognize a lot of it, and then there's other stuff I know. This is genuinely, I'm actually, I want to go play Lost Ark now from watching that. So that's done a good job. That's a good April Fools. What else have we got? Disney Twisted Wonderland. So apparently that one I can't watch. I saw this one. Fake Grand Order. They did a Pixel Wars crossover fake. What else have we got? Kind of looks like some type of VR type beat. I mean, they kind of get it. I think they've watched enough VR that they understood how to make that. Genuinely, that would look fun, I think. Oh god, see, there's a lot of like small indie JP ones that are just they'd be fun little videos. So if you want to go look at any of these yourselves, there is Gamatsu's got an article on this that covers a lot of stuff. Sonic's one. What was Sonic's one? I guess Sonic was a Futronia. You get a bath burrow set. Let's see. Square Enix did Dragon Quest Walk. Metal Storage Vault. Wait, what? What is this? So you get a storage vault. What? It's very much like a Japanese ad. What is happening? What is this meant to be? I'm not 100% sure what that was meant to be. A fake storage vault? There we go. I think that's most of them. I feel like that's most of the ones that I did see. There is some bigger ones that I could definitely talk about. And some ones that were a bit more like they weren't necessarily gaming related, but I feel like that's a good sort of just a snapshot of kind of the ones that are out there for this year. But here's one that did get people and was ironic because there was post by oh shit, what's his name? There was a post by I'm trying to remember his name quickly. It is where are we? Trying to find the Twitter post, if you give me a second. Where is it? Here we go. By Tristan Cooper. A lot of you probably know this person online. So he basically said, first two guesses for April 1st, multiple game developers will release fake, we're doing NFT press releases, and they will be indistinguishable from an actual video about game NFT announcements. And holy shit, Tristan Cooper got it more right than he could have imagined when the Metal Gear 35th anniversary website dropped, where people were waiting for the 35th anniversary to see what the content was, and then the website updated to reveal it was a fake NFT website. Oh my gosh. Konami, what the hell? So this was pretty funny. Hey Taco, how you doing? You're new here? Oh well, you'll enjoy your stay as we learn about how stupid Konami are. Is this website even gonna load? I will laugh if this doesn't load. But yeah, oh my god, I can't believe that they went down this route. Like, Konami has already, if you guys don't already know, they've already sold NFTs. They got bashed about it because of it. Surprisingly, the NFTs actually did okay for them. This website's not gonna load, is it? They've taken this down? No, there we go. Konami, please don't sue me. Oh! It wasn't made by Konami. Okay, I did not know this. So, this website has actually been updated now. It's not affiliated with Konami. So some person just managed to get this particular, I guess, IP, and or web host, and he had this like auction page, and he was selling these fake NFTs of pixel art, and so that's a pretty good goof. Okay, that it's not even managed by Konami, so he's gone and put up now that it's not real. It wasn't. It's a fake website, fake NFTs, and it's not even managed by Konami. So that's pretty funny. Interesting. I like that. That went one extra level that I wasn't expecting there. Good. That was a good goof. Good goof. All right, we are out of the April Fool's domain now. We're going to jump into standard news. There's not a lot of just news. There is a lot of categorized news, so we'll jump on in. Probably the big one to start off with, which I saw a lot of people talking about, is E3 has been cancelled again, and it's been confirmed that they're not going to do any digital events or anything like that. It's just they're just straight up not doing it again. And I saw a lot of people in despairing about this. I would like to point out a couple of things, just in case people are not aware. As much as people really do love E3, and I was a big fan of it myself, it was on the downward trend. They were finding themselves not having as many people wanting to go to it and being a part of it, big companies tapping out, presentations being squished in, the cost to run it was getting higher, and the business changing hands did impact it a lot. So in a weird way, this might be good for E3, but this could lead to essentially the finale of E3 existing in a weird way. But it's hard to say. This is another wise thing to do just because of COVID, but this one is, it seems like they were not in a state that they were prepared to do it, related to COVID, but also related to just how they're running as well. This is a good thing in a sense that I think they're responsible about doing it, but it also could save them some costs. It just means they're just kind of idling. And I think it might be one of those things. As soon as they come back, people will come for it will have the whiplash effect where essentially they will suddenly everyone will want to come back to it. But yeah, it is what it is. The Minions did an NFT thing as well. Really? How are Minions still a thing? Like, hang on, who owns Minions as a movie branding thing? I'm not even sure, but I'm shocked if they did an NFT thing. But yeah, so no E3. That's something that was bound to happen. But we have lots of other digital events, and even in-person ones that are going to be happening. So not the worst. People will still get announcements for games. Or we could get a delay, which, if you guys did not see this, this made people a little upset. I saw a good meme from this one, which is comparing to Elden Ring, but Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel delayed till 2023. So we're adding another year on. Seems like Nintendo really wants to figure this out. It did take a long time for the previous version of Breath of the Wild to come out, just because of all that they were developing. And it seems like they're wanting to maybe go one step further. Hard to say. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of Breath of the Wild, so I'm not really holding my breath for it. But I saw a joke that was like, Elden Ring drops, revolutionizes open world gameplay, Breath of the Wild sequel goes into mass delay. And it's like, that'd be pretty funny if they did note some stuff about it, but I imagine it's just internal stuff. And it makes me worried in a sense because of how little we see, but Nintendo, you see very little anyway, so hard to say. But yeah, so if you didn't see it, there was essentially this 1 minute little video by Aonuma, and just basically apologizing for the fact that it's delayed. But they did drop some new footage in here. The game does look a little bit better than when we saw it last time. I would say it actually looks a little bit cleaner. but I would say this is probably not running on the Switch. I'm gonna take a guess that this is actually just direct dev stuff, because this looks very high res and very clean. It doesn't have a lot of artifacting and issues that I would say that the the Switch has. But yeah, so we got a little bit of extra footage, which reveals a few things. I saw a few different channels talking about it, how it's like, it looks like the sword is glowing, similarly to Fee, so perhaps Fee is back in the story somehow. I kind of doubt it, because I don't think that's not really Zelda's thing to bring back stuff. But the big one is the Master Sword did get messed up. So when Link lost his arm, probably to Ganon, or whatever that beast is, it seemingly destroyed the Master Sword at the same time. It melted it, so yeah. That's new news, I guess we got, but that's probably all we're going to hear for quite a few months until we get closer to an actual announcement date. But going to be waiting a while, chat. It could be another year and a half before we hear anything more about this game. So sit tight if you're a Zelda fan. Any announcements? On the other spectrum, there was a lot of announcements, Now, if you didn't catch me talking about the silliness that was the One Piece presentation, at least it ended with something that was actually tangible to like enjoy, which was One Piece Odyssey getting revealed finally. We didn't really know, well, we kind of could guess what it was. If you've played the previous One Piece game, I was going to call it World Red, not World Red. The previous game made by a different developer as well, which is interesting. This game is actually a RPG, weirdly enough, which I will say is probably a good way to take a One Piece game. I do think I wish that they could get Arxis to make a fighting game. That would be amazing. But this will do. It's very much a spin-off story, like every other one of their games. Apart from the Warriors games, that actually tells the story. But one thing is, this individual and his team actually are the team that made Pokemon Shining Diamond and Brilliant Pearl. And it's kind of crazy because that means that they were making this game at the same time they were making Pokemon. Which, let's just compare, shall we? There's a big difference between those two games, and this game looks actually quite nice. And we'll jump into the actual footage. So is this the actual trailer? Hang on, we've got the talking bit. I actually want the trailer. But yeah, so it's pretty much, it looks kind of like Dragon Quest, like even maybe Ni no Kuni and things like that. It's very much like just a platform where they can just make silly stuff and visuals and stuff like that, whereas the previous ones felt very, they were trying to figure out how to make action work for One Piece. And yeah, hang on, this isn't the correct trailer. There's actually a trailer. Hang on. Let's go find the actual trailer, because this is just the message. Was that Vardy? Hang on, did I just see a Vardy? I think I heard a Vardy.
Peggy 12.
So a little message from Oda. That's pretty much at the start of every one of their ones. It's Oda has a little thing that he says that how he was involved. So it looks like it's actually somewhat written by Oda. It's a side story. The Sunnies crashed somehow. I don't know how the Sunny of all ships could ever crash. They crypto burst into some island, and it's very nice looking. They've got like a nice aesthetic going on. It's got some really like unique looking environments. Again, it's not the best looking thing ever, but it looks way better than their previous games visually. Again, different developer. I think the fact that this is a different developer to, say, the previous ones, like Unlimited World and stuff like that, like it's not a bad thing that this has happened. It's just interesting because if you were to compare this against the Pokemon remake releases that didn't seem very good, they had a lot of limitations. It makes me wonder, was this made at the same time and it impacted its development? Because this game looks like it actually visually is a little striking. So it reminds me of Jump Force. That was my first reaction as well. That it kind of looked like their previous game. It kind of looked like Jump Force. I would imagine Bandai Namco are involved and have provided some assets for it. So there has been probably a lot of weight taken off their back, because these models look like the previous One Piece games models, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just the fact that this is a very different gameplay styling, and we get a little teaser for a new character. So I won't really talk about the story or anything like that, because it's non-consequential, because it's not actually a mainline story. But it's yeah. It seems interesting enough, and I'm kind of excited for it, provided it plays well compared to the previous one. DNF Duel opens up second beta in April 2022, so I'm excited for this. I didn't get to play the previous one, and they revealed a few more things recently at the Fighting Game Conference, and the dates are this weekend. So I'm probably going to end up trying to play it tonight, and it will be running until April 4th. So we've got a few days, and I really hope that they've made some improvements, because people complained that it felt a little route on playing the games. Like you pretty much had to play the characters how you played the characters, from what I understood. But the game looks fun. It's Arxis, and I think that if you're a DNF fan, you probably are like going crazy. Honestly, this is probably really intense for you. And now this is the one that I was expecting a little bit bigger of an announcement, and kind of understand why they didn't end up doing a direct for this. PlayStation Plus to relaunch as a 3-tiered service in June. Which includes a classic PS1, PS2, and PSP titles. So if you saw my post maybe on Twitter about this, it was a bit strange that they didn't do a direct about it, but now I understand why. Because this wasn't as intensive as an announcement as it could have been, because they didn't actually reveal a huge amount. So we knew that this was coming. This has been rumored for quite some time. But the thing is about this is it's basically takes away PlayStation Now to merge it into PlayStation Plus. So then it's just a clean upgrade, like which tier you're choosing essentially. And they've added a third tier essentially. The base PlayStation Plus is basically the same. If anything, they've actually reduced it, because only 2 monthly downloadable games down from the 3 to 4. So I'm a little disappointed by hearing that. But the upgraded one is interesting. PlayStation Plus Extra gives you a catalog of 400 most enjoyed PlayStation 5 games. So they're adding the Game Pass system to PlayStation, which is what we've been waiting for essentially, because that's one of the most profitable things that Microsoft have done in a very, very long time. 400 games is a lot of games. Like that literally just gives you a game library, and it is $15 a month. So they're Netflixing it. You're basically getting your Netflix equivalency for PlayStation. So that's good. But the thing is, if you go to the next tier up, Premium gives you access to a catalog of classic games available for streaming and download on PlayStation, PlayStation 2, and PSP. I was a little bummed that there was no Vita in there, but you might note there's no PS3 ones. The PS3 games are only cloud gaming, which, as I've mentioned before, cloud is only really usable by people within very particular locations with good internet. So I still am not very sold on this concept. I think it will be pretty fucking awful in Australia, I'm not gonna lie. But this is good. I'm very excited by this. Hopefully the PlayStation 3 becomes a part of this catalog, because there is rumors of essentially of a PlayStation 3 emulator being made. And I'm a little bummed there's no Vita, because there is some good games on there that I think look very good. I'm glad a lot of the Vita games have been ported now, but there's still ones on there that are kind of, be nice to see them be liberated. Yeah, I'm a big fan of retro games. I'm a big fan of libraries of games just being like maintained and playable. And if we don't know how many games there is though, and that makes me think that that is the reason why they haven't announced this in a direct, because we don't know what games. They talk about 400 games, but they haven't got the list out. They talk about a list of classic games, which we don't know. It says 340 additional games. So very likely we will not hear about this in quite some time, for quite some time, until the actual sort of proper reveal of it. And then perhaps that will be during a direct of sorts. So for now, it's just being aware that it will change, but it's, yeah, I think this is a much better service. I think it's just all around seems more logical, and actually seems worth people's money, versus I still am not a big fan of the 2 monthly downloadable games. I think you should just get access to the PlayStation Plus library. I think that should be how that system works. It shouldn't be you have to get it while you've got it sort of thing. But that's the reason why PlayStation Plus Extra exists, I guess. But, you know, whatever. That's pretty sizable news. Yeah, I'm just gonna have a drink, chat. A Zero Striker Gunvolt 3 release date falls in July 2022. So, Azure Gunvolt, very cool, and they're getting a 3rd sequel, and it's looks pretty good. If you haven't seen it, I think that Gunvolt still is one of those games where it's like, it's nice to see these types of games getting some love, because I feel like it's interesting to have this now a dynamic of like retro pixel games that very much evoke certain eras, like getting sort of attention and being sold. And I think it's we'll realize that we're not ever going to have some of this go away now. Like you can tell Gunvolt is very inspired by like Game Boy Advance generation. It's not SNES graphics. It's very much that like pixel art that we would have had during the GBA era, or I want to say even PlayStation to some degree. But they're just very flashy, fun games. And if you're into your Metroid, well, not Metroidvanias, your I want to say Capcom side scrollers, then you probably these are games for you. And during oh my gosh, I can't believe some of these games got announced during April Fools. Here is an actual announcement from the Hyperlight Drifter team. Hyperlight Breaker. We're actually getting a sequel to Hyperlight Drifter in a form, and it is hard to actually think that this is real. This is very, 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 very cool. I really want to play the other game made by the Hyperlight team. I still haven't gotten around to it, Solar Ash. It looks genuinely really good, but they obviously did enough dev time and got enough support that this game could be made. I love how we're just also now getting a lot of these indies making like little animations that like similarly to, I want to say, Hollow Knight and stuff like that, or even Dead Cells got it as well. Like just these small animation studios getting to do like projects like this. Hyperlight Breaker. So I wonder if it's in the same universe, because Drifter pretty much it established, dude, I can't believe it's like an actual 3D action game. So the end of Hyperlight Drifter I felt like was pretty closed circuit. I didn't think that it really could follow on, but maybe they're doing a Soulsian loop situation or something. But yeah, pretty dang cool. I'm very excited about that. Chick Kip dances Niori dance Koroko. Oh gosh, my Japanese is just failing me right now. announced for Switch. I just wanted to talk about this because this just looked really silly, and I wanted to see if there was actually a trailer, because God, I really like the art here, and I like these dumb Japanese games appearing. I don't think they've actually got a trailer, but I think this is I'm fairly sure this is like they're a there's no trailer chat, but I'm fairly sure these are just dumb gimmick kids TV show stuff, and I always find them funny. Capcom Arcade second stadium rated for PC in Korea. So we might getting a second Capcom Arcade. I don't know what's up with that, which you can see a lot of recognizable stuff in this little logo here. I'm guessing they're just going to expanding the arcade system, and so it's probably we're going to be getting like a double wave of content at some point from Capcom for old games, and maybe similarly to the Sega ongoing system, and that'd be really good. I think that'd be really smart for them to do that. But yeah, oops. Did you hear they announced Fossil Fighters remake for Switch? I mean, remember it's not April Fool's here in Dominus. It's April Fool's where you are. You can't get me. Otherwise, you're the fool. How you doing, Dominus? Welcome on in. It'd be really, that'd be pretty funny if they actually announced that. That would actually upset people quite a lot, I feel like, if certain games got announced that people wanted a remake for. And they'd be like, what? Grand Blue April Fool's event is Boba 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 Boba. Crossover. So this one apparently already existed. I didn't know of this, but it's the Boba Boba event is come back to Grand Blue. And if you've never watched Boba Boba, it is very funny. Very good. Yeah. I should have put this with the April Fool stuff. I'm fine. It's still April 1st for me. I don't care if it's you're in the future, I guess. Hey, it's the welcome in. But yeah, few extra April Fool's one. We're still in that realm. So, as I said, we were actually going to talk about the real April Fool's announcements during this because they are actually legitimate. These ones are actually legitimate. Among Us Cursed Horse mode is for real in April Fool's 2022. I had no idea what this is. All I've seen is this imagery. I don't know what this is. And they say, sorry, we're not sorry. And I don't know what this is. Are you just horses? For one day only. Does that mean we've already missed it? We all know that bean. That bean has now become very synonymous around the world. I cannot believe that I found actual toys. It's quite the build-up, isn't it? So is it just Among Us, but they're horses? It seems like it. Is that what this is? I think it's just that I don't think they're going to show us any gameplay. It's a free cursed mode, Horse Edition. Bizarre. Well, there you go. You could be a horse in Among Us, apparently. I don't know how those animations would work. I guess they stab with their, like... Do they grow hands? They must grow hands still, surely. Otherwise, that doesn't make any sense how attacks do. Then, another announcement that came out on April Fool's, which, again, it's a rough thing to do because it was hard to say if this is real or not. Rivals of Aether 2 announced, and this one is very much something that people have been looking forward to. And if they've got a trailer, here we go. An indie Smash-like that actually ended up being successful. Wasn't really for me. I didn't really gel with it, but it looks like we're taking. Oh, it looks like we're taking a step into the 3D generation. Wow, it actually animates well too. I still have an issue where it looks a little generic for me, but dude, it does. It still looks fun. Is this Frog Boy new? I don't remember this Frog Boy. He's Greninja. Greninja. That's a good stage. Dude, this actually looks better in 3D. This actually looks way cooler in 3D. I'm kind of into this. Wow, I think they transitioned from 2D to 3D very well. I'm kind of shocked. You can see a lot of cues from the latest Smash Bros. Though. This animates incredibly well. Dude, that looked fantastic. That logo still kind of balls. But yeah, Rivals of the Ether is a very strange one because like I never thought that the original was like its standout for me, but it really did capture some people. But there was also another announcement they did as well, which hopefully it's here. Dungeons of Ether was also announced, which I think it's kind of a different sort of game. Yeah, I think this one will be, I'm not sure if it's just a normal RPG or if it's going to be like a dungeon delver, or is it going to be a roguelike?
Darkness from the abyss. The fight reshaped the land and lasted for generations. The
Shari's
people
folder?
came together,
What was that?
all tribes, all elements, and sealed the darkness away. They freely gave everything they had to save each other and the world. The fallen and their treasures were buried
Dinosaurs?
deep beneath what is now Jules Vale.
It's a bit of everything in Aether.
Countless
It's all like
fortune
animal
hunters and
creatures and stuff.
adventurers dive into the mines,
Badger
finding
Town.
wealth and excitement.
So it's kind of like a, it feels like a PlayStation GBA inspired pixel game. Oh, it's straight up an RPG. Oh, it's a turn-based RPG. Interesting. Oh, it's a dice. Oh, it's a dice system game. Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm curious because I don't know Rivals of the Ether that well. Like, are these recognizable characters or environments and stuff like that? Dungeons of Ether. That's pretty soon. That's October this year. That's pretty cool. It's another spin-off of Rivals of Ether. There's another one? Hang on. Have they already done another spin-off before now? I did not know that if that's the case. Imagine actually announcing a spin-off on April Fool's Day. I can't believe that they did 2 different Rivals games, but that's pretty ballsy. I'm going to be honest. But yeah, pretty cool. But that's all the announcements. We're going to jump into some updates now. Babylon's Fall Near Automata crossover involves A2, Emil, and familiar weapons. So we kind of would expect that this would be happening because of just how much this is Platinum and Square, and putting those two together makes sense to have these crossover and to pull people into the game. And I don't know how effective it will be. Again, Babylon's Fall is doing abysmally. This game is doing so badly. I can't stress that enough. And I don't know even if Nier can save it at this point. I think that, again, releasing an action game at the same time as Elden Ring is an extremely poor decision. And there is a few games that are really, really paying the price for that. But yeah, Creatures of the Ether, I think Lovers of the Ether. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay, cool. That means that studio is branching out and doing various things, and that's good. I think that they've they've probably gotten a decent amount of budget to be able to do that. Serious Sam, but it wasn't serious. Oh no. Genshin Impact version 2.6 is now available today. So we're getting our Genshin updates. They're just going ongoing. Again, I don't play Genshin, but I know a lot of people still do. It sounds like just the fact that this game just keeps going. Both it and Honkai Impact are just like, if you're a Moyo fan, it's like you really do get to eat well. I feel like with this game series. So yeah. Again, I still think that the gacha might be a little bit too heavy though. Scarlet Nexus version 1.08 now available and adds Tales of Arise collaboration events. So I still need to return to Scarlet Nexus for the DLC updates. They look particularly very good. But yes, it seems like the Tales of Arise, essentially all the content from that is getting it first, and then I think Tales of Arise will get the Scarlet Nexus stuff a little bit later. But yeah, I'm not too interested in that, but it is a good reminder for me that I do need to play Tales at some point. Got all the trophies in one session, got the whole thing done in under 2 hours. Oh wow. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night to add an update to add Child of Light's Aurora as a playable character. This is very strange. Because Bloodstained really hasn't had many updates post-release. The assumption is that there is probably a Bloodstained 2 coming because of just how successful Bloodstained was and how good of a game it was. If you had not played the Castlevania re-inspiration, it's very good. I really enjoyed it. I don't really want more of the pixel ones because the pixel ones were very, very light. Yeah, I never played Child of Light. It wasn't real. I don't know. There was something that just, it never clicked with me at the time. But I think that these two kind of do go together in a sense. At the same time, I'm not sure. But yeah. Child of Light, a good game. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I never got around to it, Mavi. Welcome on in. But yeah, I think it's not a bad match. Like, I think that kind of goes well together. But whoa, look at her hair. I love how poorly animated it goes there. Look at that. What happens there? It just goes. It freaks out super hard. They need to put more. They really, really need to put some weight on that hair, I think. All right, more updates. Final Fantasy patch 6.1 release date is revealed. It is going to be April 12th. That is just 2 weeks away, or less than 2 weeks away. And this is going to be a big update, and it adds a lot of stuff. And this is a very fucking fun trailer. I'm very excited by the amount of content they're showing in here. Again, this is for 14 people mostly, but I will never not gush about this game. No, Zigzagoon, I have no idea. I probably wouldn't cover that anyway because I don't really know XCOM games. I would say that you probably won't see anything till Gamescom.
Not that I'm pining for your return, you understand.
So we get to see what everyone's doing post the story.
I know that each and every one of you is doing well and keeping busy with your endeavors.
Because we broke up, these scions are now separated. We're now all across the world.
This map is the
But we're still off doing adventures.
I'll be the king of fools to simply give it away.
So I guess we still get to see what everyone's doing.
They may not be genuine.
And we bring them together for some little events. Surprisingly, as much as we're meant to be separated and not working together as scions, we can see we've got the trust system working in a dungeon. So it looks like they're probably going to be making the trust work for like a lot of the fights. New PvP arena has been revealed, and there's like crystals that attack you, question mark, with bombs going off. Seems pretty mad for a PvP event. It looks like there's a couple different versions of the map, question mark? I don't really know what's
As
up
you
with
know,
that.
I've been researching ways to travel from the source to one of its reflections.
So I don't know what if Yoshitola is talking about there, it plays into this, but
Well,
we get a little flash of our boy Hildebrand's back.
looking
We
for
haven't
hints
seen him
at
for like
least.
2 expansions.
I don't expect to find a simple set of instructions tucked away in
Alpha
some
and
dark
Omega are
corner
back?
of the
Question mark?
library.
We get to drift raced in little parts. The Void is back, so we actually get more Void story finally, which is weird because I thought Shadowbringers would have, not Shadowbringers, Endwalker would have more. And then the big reveal. We actually get to see the raid. So this is the newest raid, Alliance raid, and it's versus the 12.
A gift of flame for our children.
And they're actually showing off quite a lot of bosses. It is a lot of bosses they're showing off here. And it's really hard to tell what's in the dungeon, what's in the story. It's really hard to tell what's in the dungeon and what's in the story. And what's in the raid. But
Enter my realm.
I think a lot of that stuff at the back end was the raid, which seems like there's a lot of intense fights that have just been revealed, which was not expecting. But yeah, our new story begins with a little reminder. So the ultimate of King Thornton has returned, which ironically has an association to the 12 in itself. But yeah, King Thornton has returned with Knights of the Round. And that ultimate is probably going to kick a lot of people's asses, I bet. But that's all the updates. Now let's do some dumb merch shit. First up, do you guys have like $10,000 floating around? Probably not that much. This statue is worth 1,300. It is a Guts Bloody Nightmare wolf statue. I don't know if they've got a good. I think it's this one. This is a really big figure. This is huge. Very large sized one, and it looks really, 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 really good. Can I go in closer? A little bit closer. But dude, it looks fantastic. Like, so this is made by ooh, let me go back. How do I close? Okay, it won't let me close the art, which is annoying. Because it's not Play Arts, it's Prime Studio. And this one is very, very, very good. They released a Casco one as well, and I was shocked because she's a little bit smaller than this one. But this one is big. And yeah, feel like this is one of those things that if you have that set up in your room, it is a centerpiece. This is a centerpiece that they've set up. But yeah, it's $1,300. Prime Studio's done this one. They do a couple of other figures, as well as there's a whole heap of essentially Berserker merchandise that's coming out. I'll show you the one I want. It's this one. Is this Prime as well? It is Prime as well. Oh no, it's Prime. Oh, this is oh wow. This is a tasteful one. This is actually quite nice, Mavi. $1,000, dude. 62 centimeter. This is very tasteful. I like how clean this is done. I think I like this style of statuette a lot, where it's like, the larger they are, the more detailed they can be done. And I think when they're just really like, I think more flatter can sometimes be really nice. How big though? Is it like desk or room size? It's like, how big is, it's probably like arm length, medic. So he's pretty fucking big. But yeah, big statuettes. But that one's really cool. I like that one too. All right, let's keep moving. G Fuel Naruto Miso Ramen Flavored Collector's Box announced. All right, put up your hands. How many of you have actually had G Fuel? And then how many of you would be willing to buy ramen flavored G Fuel? Because isn't this energy drinks? Am I wrong? Like, I don't know if like energy drinks feel like the type of thing that you would want to have it like be like a soda, surely. Any drinks as whack as fuck. I used to drink a lot of them, so I'm not against them, but I do think they have some real bad danger qualities. But this is weird. I feel like this is such a weird combination, but someone out there is want this. All my homies drink coffee. Well, coffee has its problems in itself too. But yeah, very strange. Also, why is it not letting me go back from images now? I don't know what's up with Silicon Era. They've done something and I can't go back, but there you go. You can get this if you really want. More in line with Gatorade, but at 10 times more stronger. Jesus. So you're very hydrated is what you're saying, Mavi. Gurren Lagann, this one's another figure one. Gurren Dan Lagann figure set announced. This is pretty dope. So this is Good Smile. If you don't know Good Smile, they are very renowned for figures. I'm a very big Gurren Lagann fan. And we have not seen Lagann merchandise in quite some time, let alone good merchandise. And for the 15th anniversary, fuck me, 15 years, are you serious? I forget that Gurren Lagann's like half my age. You can get these little figures, which you can get all the individual ones, but the only reason to get all these individual ones is because they combine, they get tie into the big Mega Boy. It's the only valid energy drink. It's less of an energy drink, it's more of a electrolyte booster, which is not the same thing. It's not caffeinated. I don't. Can you even get caffeinated Gatorade? I assume you can't. This is also a very well done trailer. I think this is very good. Chat, I might need to go watch Gurren Lagann again. It's hard to differentiate where the 3D and the models actually are, but very cool. I'm very into this. This is very, very good. So this is the place that you can get all these little models. I don't know how expensive the full set is. The full set is apparently $250. So it's relatively expensive. It really is a collector's thing, but it's quite nice. I think it does look a little toy-like, with especially the add-on ones, but it is Gurren Lagann, and it is a combinable one that has all these extra little featurettes and stuff like that, which is pretty good. Speaking of figures, I bought a figure and I still have yet to get mine. Oh no, Mavi. Sometimes you're just going to be waiting for post. Hopefully you have a tracking number. But yeah, this one was pretty cool. I thought I'd just cover this. I know it's not games related, but you know. Bit of fun before we jump into some big business. So we'll finish up with the business today. We have Bungie issues lawsuits over DMCA YouTube strikes. So this was a weird one. So apparently Bungie is getting strikes on from DMCAs on their own content, and YouTube was taking down videos, and then some fraudulent people were they're basically being harassed by some people. It wasn't done by business or anything like that, but yeah. So now it's basically they're trying to issue lawsuits to the people that were involved, essentially, because they can be tracked down by YouTube. Yeah, weird. It's such a strange thing. I like trolls being held accountable, but it is very strange just the idea that can evolve into lawsuits associated to these ones. But yeah, bizarre. Blizzard Activision EEOC settlement going forward. So if you guys didn't hear, this is I almost put this into controversy. I'm a little bit upset about this. Pretty frustrated, I'm going to be honest. So if you guys don't know about the settlement, about the court case that have been going forward with all the stuff related to Activision Blizzard, it has been going on for quite some time. and now we've entered into a space where they're actually getting a settlement associated to it for 18 million. All of that for 18 million? This event has caused so much financial grief for so many people. So many people lost their jobs. So many people have had to speak out. So many people have been on strike. There's a lot of financial costs that Blizzard Activision have had to shell out in a sense. This is a low amount. Something that I did see people talking about, how with Bobby Kotick actually had a payout for when he's leaving. His payout was 170 million. That is not, it's a tenth of the amount that this lawsuit settlement is going for. So they're willing to pay the CEO that has been notably the man that caused a lot of these problems 10 times the amount they're willing to pay for all the individuals involved within this particular case. That's pretty bad. I'm not very thrilled about this, but it seems like the EEOC is accepted it. It seems like the courts have accepted it, judges have accepted it, and yep. So it's a bit sad that this is how it's ending, but it's basically brought things to the limelight. It's made Activision Blizzard be purchased out by Microsoft. Like, there's a lot of things that have happened because of this particular case. As much as the people who should be getting the financials in relation to this particular situation are probably not getting as much as they probably deserve, this is a situation where it has been brought a lot to the light. So, gosh, yeah, I think we're approaching the end of this ridiculous campaign, and God, like, it's so sad. As a big fan of Blizzard, old Blizzard, it's just so sad to have them being in the limelight for this stuff these days. And yeah, this is kind of how this story is going to end. Is they're basically going to be doing this payout, losing Kotick, losing more money, then being brought by Microsoft, and then they'll probably changing a sizable amount, I imagine. I don't know how much Activision will be able to hold back those segments of change, but we'll see. We've seen companies go into Microsoft and become very changed from within, and fingers crossed some of that for the better this time around. So we'll see. Speaking of lawsuits, Epic's still going on with the Epic Apple lawsuit, but in the meantime, they're facing new lawsuits over Fortnite dance emotes. Not again. How is this happening again? But yeah, apparently there's a new dance move in the game or something, and that's now getting sued. Oh, it was introduced in 2020, and apparently people are now like suing this YouTuber is apparently suing them, and yeah, God, it's kind of crazy. It's just. Understandably, people should be able to own the rights to them coming up with particular choreography and things like that. But it is kind of crazy, the idea that if this stuff has been purchased, this stuff is being recreated in games and then being sold, that there should be some sort of revenue associated to it if it is directly a choreography. But there, at the same time, I do feel like there's a limited amount of set of things that people can do as dancing, but I don't know. I would have to see it myself, but this is just one of those things that it's kind of crazy, where it's like these are lawsuits that still will be coming up, and theft in all forms should be held accountable. So yeah, this is just kind of crazy. This one's a weird one. Roblox backs Apple in the ongoing battle against Epic's appeal. So if you didn't hear, so there's basically an appeal that Epic has been doing for the amount that is associated to the lawsuit for Apple, and seemingly Roblox's founder or company, they're now being involved and backing Apple, which is very strange. because if you don't know, the Roblox company has got notably some bad stuff in terms of its business runnings and things like that, and it's kind of not great that of all companies to associate themselves that they are as well. When asked why Roblox was allowed, Apple described the user-created games available as experiences rather than games, because Roblox's format allows them to curtail a few of the things that Apple is trying to enforce on Epic. So it's like, yeah, it's messy. This is just going to be a very messy one, and it's still got a little bit to go as far as I understand for this particular court case. But yeah, I don't know how this one ends up. But again, I'm still on Epic's side on this one to slap Apple, because the monopoly that they've got established is pretty gross. So yeah. Capcom to raise Japan-based staffers' salaries by 30%. So I feel like we've talked about this before. I think it's actually happening now. Yeah, we're going to finish today on a positive note. Capcom raising the salaries by 30% across the board, and that's pretty fucking cool. I think that I feel like we need more of these announcements just in the games industry. I know a lot of businesses incrementally improve, so you never hear of them like, oh, we've increased everyone's salary by 1 to 2% over like this year and then ongoing, whereas Capcom may have actually had theirs frozen at a particular point for quite some time and only now bumping it. So it might be one of those, like, it might not be as good as it seems, but it's just nice to have these good stories where it's like, considering how much Capcom is earning these days from being so much better as a business, it is good to see this is happening. So yeah, Capcom has made some killer earnings over the past, well, they've mentioned here, it's a 35% increase compared to the period in 2020. And I think it's only going to go up. I think the fact that Resident Evil, people are excited for new Resident Evil, people are excited for new Monster Hunter, people are excited for just other things that, like, hell, they've got like games like, if they brought out a new Dragon's Dogma, people would love that. They've got Street Fighter 5 on the way, like Street Fighter 6 on the way. So there's a lot that Capcom has to offer still and easily make more money. So exciting. And I'm happy to see that. But that is all the news. That's all the news for the week. So, as always, lot of news to cover. April Fools, I think, is one of those things where I found more interesting April Fools across the board, probably outside of the games industry, made by people making fan stuff, than I think I did by the industry this year. But it's kind of a strange thing where I feel like back in, I want to say mid 2000s, late 20 or early 2010s, we got a lot of really good April Fool's video games jokes that I think were genuinely funny, and people, like, they had good, it was just good humor in the industry at the time. Whereas now I feel like we've kind of in that very much social media, people are already in that joke mode, that it doesn't connect as much as it used to, where it's like going from like getting one joke a year to they're constantly trying to come up with something silly throughout the year. Maybe is doing something to it, but yeah, I just like to see the industry let its hair down once a year and just try and have fun on social media and stuff like that. But there is a lot of cases where it feels like they're kind of trying hard to be funny, and if you don't have a good person with a decent sense of humor or creativity in those marketing divisions or in the social media sort of groups, it can become a bit but I think there's just some fun stuff you can get out of there though. Remember when April 1st is where Google said that they had an AR Pokemon game that eventually became Go? That's weird. That's weird to think about, like Google doing something like that and then Go ending up coming about. Man, I wish it didn't in some ways, but dang Go. Dang Pokemon Go, you had to ruin Pokemon for everyone. But yeah, there's some fun stuff out there. And I think Google is a good example of a business that seems to make pretty decent external or jokey content that just I think is actually good. And because it's inoffensive, it's never like laugh out loud sort of stuff, but it's like, it's enjoyable content at least. I think that's probably sometimes the best you can ask for. But yeah, all right. I'm gonna take a quick break. We actually didn't do too bad on news today. We're gonna jump into some Kirby. We're actually gonna do the post-game Kirby and see how much we can do in that. I have no idea how long this will be. I might only be able to do this for like an hour or so, but I'm assuming there'll be a tougher boss. I don't know if I'll need to grind quotation marks to upgrade all the other like forms and things like that. But I put off doing this because we only did 3 days last week for streaming, but I think we should be able to finish it up this week. If I can finish it up, and we still have a bit of time, maybe I can play a bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! At the end. Maybe I might, I'm not sure how we'd finish up today, but then maybe we can jump into some Dread tomorrow. Hopefully this doesn't turn into one of those things where I'm like, oh, it'll only take an hour, and it ends up taking me 5 hours for some reason, but I'm not going to be 100%ing this Kirby on stream. I will let you know, guys know that, but I do want to see this extra boss, so... The first summer of Pokemon Go was the closest the world has ever gotten to world peace. I don't know about that, Indominus. I do know a lot of upset people during that time period. I remember a lot of articles about people being upset, people just standing around in places and causing problems trying to catch Pokemon, but it was a weird thing to see. It definitely was a weird thing to see, going around, walking around places and just people standing around in little groups. Accidentally walking into trees while trying to catch a Pokemon. Like, it was an interesting experience to say the least, and that it shows that impact every now and then that video games have on the world, and it's why people get excited when they're like, oh my god, video game in normal news, because it is that thing where it is breaking through the unification of the world. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be back with Kirby. I'm gonna go show how Pink Puffball can destroy God. Be right back.